My name is Ann Wurr, and I am a mother of three. I live in Virginia, and I help run a nonprofit dog rescue called Dogs Extra Large. Dogs XL Rescue is a nonprofit, all-volunteer rescue that focuses on saving dogs from high-kill shelters all throughout the northeast and southern area of the United States. We bring dogs to the area, we foster them in various different areas, different homes and situations, and we find them forever homes. Dogs Extra Large Rescue gets a lot of dogs from rural areas and southern states. We do have some of them pulled locally just by having shelter partners in the area that are in need. They do euthanize in the area a lot. I think the local shelter in Virginia put 600 dogs down last year. In the South, the numbers are much higher. Sometimes they're upward of 99% of the dogs that show up there are euthanized. A lack of education with the spay and neutering, the funding that goes into those shelters are all an issue. The shelters in rural areas in the South, they tend to not have the funding provided by the states and the counties to them to help all of these animals. There's such a high number and quantity of these animals without homes that they're left with their hands tied. They are unable to spay and neuter all of them. They don't have the resources to find them homes, and inevitably those animals are euthanized. Dogs XL Rescue pulls dogs from shelters and different situations for many different reasons. One of the reasons is owner surrender. Some people will surrender their dogs directly to Dogs XL. Sometimes they'll surrender them to a shelter, and we're asked to take them by the shelter to help find them a home. A lot of times people will turn their dogs into shelters and think, oh, my dog came from a home, he's trained, he's housebroken, he's a wonderful dog. What they don't know, and what sometimes the shelters don't tell them, is they're the first ones to be put down. No one's looking for them. They don't have to have a legal hold on them while an owner's looking for them. If they need space, that dog gets put down. A lot of times people will give their dogs up for, you hear everyone has a reason why it happened. Some of them are legitimate, some of them aren't. A new baby in the family, someone could have a dog that is not reacting nicely to a new family member, or they just gave up and don't have time for the dog and they were never committed. So there's an array of reasons why people turn them over or rehome them. Sometimes their landlord, if they rent, has forced them to choose their home versus the dog, and they're put in a very bad situation. So we try to help those people out. Dogs XL has a program where people can apply to have their dogs surrendered to us if they're in that sort of situation. When we're trying to save these dogs and we're trying to help people out at the same time. If I was to consider whether I wanted to adopt a dog or rescue a dog, I don't think the size would ever matter to me, whether it was big or small. It's just that you're providing a great home for a dog in need. Dogs XL specializes in large dogs because the shelters tend to have less space for them. They do cost the shelters more space when they can put two little dogs in a kennel. One dog takes up that space. They take more food. Sometimes they're harder to adopt because people have the perception that they're harder to care for, but they're not, and they're looking for homes too, and a lot of times they're more in need of homes, and that's why Dogs XL really strives to save the larger dogs that have less time in shelters. Adopting a large dog has a lot of rewards. They all have different personalities. Different breeds have different energy levels and different little things about them that each different family loves. Sometimes the cost is a little bit more. Vets do charge by the pound. Medications are larger, just like with humans. But in general, it's all worth it. You just have to meet one. Large dogs are wonderful. They're not challenging to care for. They are just more love. There's more there to love. You put the same work in as a small dog. You do your training, you feed them, you take them to the vet. It's the same. It's just all the type of dog and the breed and the personality that people tend to fall for and wind up adopting and bringing into their home forever and making part of their family. We have a lot of behind the scenes going-ons in Dogs XL. There are a ton of volunteers that have many different jobs. This is not something that can happen with one or two people. We have a director that runs everything 24 hours a day. She gets calls in the middle of the night for sick dogs, or a transport that's gone bad from a shelter in South Carolina per se. We have an intake coordinator that is meticulous and very organized about getting the dogs to us. She pulls them from the shelter. She makes sure that they're up to date on their medications, that they've been spayed and neutered, that someone is setting up a drive for them to get here. We have adoption coordinators that talk to every single applicant that applies for a dog, even educating them if they're not quite ready, but they're just filling out an application. We have people that post the dogs online. We have fundraising coordinators. The list is endless. So each one of these dogs that goes out, they have 100 people pulling for them every single day and working hard to find them a forever home. My favorite thing, that's hard to narrow down, but I think what makes everything pay off is when a dog finds a home and you know it is meant to be, and you see where they came from and how their life was in danger, or it was even a really bad life, and they wind up with a loving family that would do anything for them and make them happy and make them part of the family. Dogs XL Rescue is always in need of volunteers. One of the biggest things that we are always scrounging for are foster homes. We cannot pull a dog from a shelter unless we have somewhere for that dog to go. We probably turn down hundreds of dogs every month. Hundreds we say no to that we know are going to be euthanized, and it breaks our hearts. If we have a foster home for some of those, even one more foster home, and we have somewhere for the dog to go, we can help find it a home, and then we can give that foster another dog, and you can be part of saving numerous lives in a short period of time without much effort. You're just opening your doors. It is so easy to become a foster home. We talk to you and give you all the resources that you need. We give you all the information of how we work. We have a full team of people behind you to support you. We can talk you through any issue that you might be having. We can provide you supplies that you need to help care for the dog. We provide all medical care for the dog. There's really no reason why you can't have a foster financially or space-wise. If the dog's personality doesn't quite fit your home, then we just do a little foster swap and everything's great. When looking to volunteer help a rescue organization like Dogs XL, you really need to look at what you can provide successfully. A foster home gives a dog a home and a place to go so we can pull it from the shelter. Financing helps pay for that dog and help support the foster as well as medical bills. And any volunteer work, if you live in a place that won't allow you to have animals and you might not have the funding to donate, making a phone call or even showing up at a dog event to hold a dog for 2 hours and sing its praises so an adopter falls in love. I mean, you can go about helping in any way that works for you. If you are interested in adopting or helping out in any way, fostering, volunteering, spending 2 hours on a weekend, please go to www.dogsxlrescue.org, and all of our information is there, and you can see our wonderful list of adoptable pets. I think today have 108 dogs that are looking for homes, and we just look forward to anyone helping us at any time, and promise that you'll love every minute of it.